So we have the Mercury cycle. So what is Mercury? Mercury is a naturally occurring metal found in rocks, soil, and water. It exists in multiple forms. It has elemental mercury, inorganic mercury, and organic mercury. It is highly toxic, especially in methyl mercury form. So really, what is mercury? So mercury is a naturally occurring metal found in rocks, soil, and water. It comes from both natural sources such as volcanoes, rock weathering, and forest fires, and human activities like pagsusunog ng mga coal, pagmimina ng ginto, and sa iba't ibang industrial processes. Itong mga activities na pangkatauhan, ito yung mga nagko-contribute sa environmental mercury pollution. So, what are the sources of mercury? Gaya nga nasabi ko kanina, yung volcanoes, rock weathering, forest fires, and yung ibang mga human activities like yun nga, coal burning and gold mining. So, ano nga ba yung human sources niya or major contributors niya? Yun nga rin yung dinagdag ko kanina. So, what are the types of mercuries? So, the first one is atmospheric mercury. So, yung atmospheric mercury, ina-explain nito kung paano mag-circulate yung mercury sa air, sa land, and sa water. Yung mercury ay release nga galing sa natural resources and human activities. And yung mercury is nag-enter siya sa air as elemental mercury na nagta-travel worldwide. And then mag-react to sa mga chemicals and pabalik to sa earth na napupunta mostly sa oceans and sa lakes na nagiging highly toxic methyl mercury. And next is mercury in water bodies. So, yung mercury in water bodies naman, pag pumunta na siya sa lake, rivers, or oceans, yung bacteria niya ay magko-convert into methyl mercury. Itong toxic na to ay nagbi-build up ng mga organisms and gumagalaw to sa food chain. Yung maliliit na organisms na to, nag-absorb to, kinakain nila, and yung malalaking isda, yung sa dulo, yung malalaking isda yung nakakuha ng higher levels. And yung mercury, pwede rin siyang gumalaw between water, sediments, tsaka sa air na nagsistay sa environment ng pangmatagalan. The next is bioaccumulation. So, sa bioaccumulation naman, nangyayari siya kapag yung mercury ay bumuo ng mga organisms na mas mabilis sa katawan sa tanggal nito. Then, overall, yung organisms na nagsistore ng more and more mercury. Kaya yung older or yung mas malalaking isda, yung merong high mercury levels. Gaya nga ng example sa PowerPoint na yung maliliit daw na organism sa water nag-serve ng maliliit na mercury. Yung fish daw ay kumain ng mga organisms na to. Kaya mas nakakolect sila ng more mercury. Gaya nga sabi ko, pag mas malaki yung fish, tapos kinain yung small fish na may mercury, and yun yung magkakaroon ng higher level. The next is biomagnification. So, biomagnification is the increase of mercury concentration as it moves up the food chain. So, yung maliliit na organisms naman sa biomagnification, yung nag-absorb ng mercury. Yung mga maliliit na isda, yung mararaming maliliit na isda, and yung malaking isda, kakainin niya yung maliit na isda. Yun yung magkakos sa mercury levels na maging mas malakas sa mga predators. Then, next is human exposure. So, yung human exposure daw, yun yung nagkakos sa human exposure ay kumakain ng contaminated na fish and seafood na may mercury, occupational exposure, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, nagmamine ng gold, and dental amalgams, which minor contribution lang naman siya. Then, next is health effect. Ano yung pwede maging health effect na to? Unang-una, neurological damage. Sa nervous system natin, malaking cause yung mercury. Then, pwede rin tayo magkaroon ng amnesia or memory loss. Kasi yung pwede niyang medyo masira yung cognitive functions natin. Lalo na yung memory natin. The next is tremors. Yung mercury, nakaka-poison daw siya. Kaya siya nagkakos ng tremors. Then, yung developmental delays sa children, yung ibig sabihin niyan, yung children daw, kasi, vulnerable sila sa effect ng mercury na magkakos ng, developmental delays. Meaning, hindi sila mag-develop agad yung body nila dahil sa mercury. Then, next is mercury cycle. Yung mercury cycle na to, kung makikita natin, dinescribe nito kung paano gumalaw yung mercury sa environment, sa atmosphere, sa land, and sa water. Ayan yung overall na pagkakasunod-sunod ng cycle ng mercury. Then next is reducing mercury pollution. So yung example daw nito is Minamata Convention noong 2013. Global Treaty to Reduce Mercury Use and Emissions. So yung strategies daw is nagta-transition away ng mga power plants, tapos nag-implement ng mas malinis na technology sa industry, nagkaroon ng proper disposal ng mercury or ng tamang pagtapon ng mercury, then minamonitor yung fish consumption na nagkakaroon ng guidance sa safe fish consumption. So, next is the phosphorus cycle. So, first and foremost, what is phosphorus? So, phosphorus is a chemical element found on Earth in numerous compound forms as in soil, water, and sediment. So, yung phosphorus daw, bumubuo siya ng ilang compound such as yung phosphate or orthophosphate ion, which is nakasaad na sa chemical element na PO43. So, next is the phosphorus cycle type. So, the first one is the sedimentary or geological phosphorus cycle. So, yung key steps doon na to ay weathering of rocks. Yung mga phosphate minerals daw sa rocks ay nagbo-broke down by weathering na nagre-release ng phosphate ion sa soil and sa water. Then, absorption by plants. So, yung plants daw ay nagtitake up ng phosphate galing sa soil solution and yun yung ginagamit pang grow ng DNA and etc. Then, consumption and decomposition. So, yung animals ay kumakain ng plants, tas magbabalik sila ng phosphorus sa soil galing sa waste and decomposition. Then, sedimentation. So, eventually, yung phosphorus daw ay pwede mag-deposit ng sediments na bumuo ng new rocks over long periods. Then, next is biological or short-term phosphorus cycle. So, yung key steps naman ay unang-una, yung roots daw ay mag-absorb ng phosphate from soil or water. Then, next is mag-transfer daw sa food web. So, yung phosphorus ay mamumove from plants to herbivores to carnivores. Then, next is, babalik siya sa soil, galing sa decay ng plants and animals, kaya siya makabalik sa soil. Then, next is microbial activity. So, yung soil microorganisms daw ay nagmi-mineralize ng organic P into inorganic phosphate that plants can reuse. And yung time scale daw nito ay months or years. The next is the aquatic or the sediment water interface phosphorus cycle. So, sabi ng ibang scientists, ito daw yung third type or tinatawag nating subset ng sedimentary cycle na nagpo-focus lang siya sa phosphorus cycle in water bodies. So, yung key points na to, yung phosphorus daw sa lakes and ocean cycles between dissolved phosphate and sediment-bound phosphate. So, pag low oxygen conditions, yung sediment daw ay nakapag-release ng phosphorus pabalik sa tubig na nagpo-fuel ng eutrophication. So, ito yung type ng cycle na binanggit kanina. So, ayun nga, binanggit ko rin kung saan environment sila. Then, yung time scale is, sa sedimentary is million of years, biological is month to years, then aquatic is years to centuries. Then, yung key processes ng sedimentary is weathering, sedimentation, uplift. Biological is uptake, consumption, decomposition, and aquatic is sediment, water exchange, and eutrophication. So, next is the phosphorus exists in several forms. We have the first one, which is organic P, or is bound in organic matter. Examples are plant residues and microbial biomass. Then next is inorganic P, found as minerals such as apatite or bound to iron, aluminum, or calcium. and available P or plant available. The fraction plants can actually absorb or usually a small portion of total P. So, steps in phosphorus cycle. So, first key step daw is yung phosphorus ay gumagalaw sa cycle galing nga sa bato, water, soil, or sediments, and organisms. Then next, yung rain and weathering breakdown rocks daw ay nag-release ng phosphate sa soil and water. The next step is yung plants daw ay mag-absorb ng phosphate galing sa soil and yung animals makakuha ng phosphate galing sa plants. Tapos kapag namatay and nag-decay sila, yung phosphate ay babalik sa soil. The next is yung phosphorus galing sa soil mag-flow into sa river and oceans na doon sila nag-settle into sediments. And the last step is yung bacteria ay sa soil ay magbe-break down into organic matter na magiging phosphorus na yung plants ay ginagamit ito. Ito yung tinatawag nating mineralization. So, ito yung diagram naman ng phosphorus cycle. Unang-una nga dyan, makikita natin yung weathering. So, yung weathering na yan, yun nga, nag-release na yung phosphate sa rocks through weathering and runoff. The next dyan is yung plant uptake. So, yung plant ay mag-absorb ng phosphate galing sa soil. The next is, yung mga hayop naman ay kukunin yung phosphate kapag nakakain sila ng plant or ng ibang animal decay na nag-consume or nag-absorb ng phosphate. The next is decomposition. Yung mga decomposer ay magbe-break down ng dead plants or animals. Tapos yun nga, babalik yung phosphate sa soil. The next is sedimentation naman, which is yung phosphate sa soil tsaka sa water ay mag-undergo into chemical precipitation and eventually na mag-settle na isang sediment na bubuo ng mga bagong rocks. The next is geological uplift naman, which is yung geological uplift ay ito yung mga magdadala ng rock sa surface na magre-restart ng cycle. So, ayun nga, in step by step ko siya, sinabi ko kung ano yung steps para sa phosphorus cycle. So, what is the role of phosphorus in animals and plants? So, yung phosphorus daw ay essential nutrient for animals and plants. So, yung phosphorus daw ay yun nga, makakapag-help ng cells na mag-grow and is important for making energy, DNA, and fats. So, ano nga ba yung importance ng phosphorus cycle? So, yung phosphorus cycle daw ay phosphorus cycle keeps this vital nutrient moving through nature. Tapos, ayun nga, tinutulungan daw natin yung mga plants na magkaroon ng strong roots and para sila makapag-produce ng fruits and seeds. Then, yung phosphorus ay essential sa lahat ng mga living things dahil ito ay isang parte ng DNA at nagbibigay din ng energy sa ating mga bagay na may buhay. Tapos, kapag namatay naman yung mga plants and animals or nag-decay sila, yung phosphorus ay babalik na ulit sa cell, sa soil and sa water para ma-reuse ulit sila gaya ng anong sa phosphorus cycle. Then, itong cycle ay nagkikeep ng ecosystem balance tapos sinusuportan din nito yung food production for life on Earth. So, ayun lang po everyone. That's all. Thank you.